Thank God you're here, mate. We're Sans Glen this week on PE class, and if you weren't here, I'd just be talking to myself, and that would be ridiculous.
But you might be saving some money because there's a good chance that I'm going to tell you about some way to waste your income this week. Because there is a few releases. Look, there's nothing terribly exciting, but I do have some news that I'll save for the tail that is exciting. That is good reason to start putting those little shekels away. For February of next year. But first up, I'll tell you about a couple titles that are coming out from Madman.
Mm.
They're good releases too. I think we
Not
can pretty
horror.
much just say from the outset, there's no 4K. There's no 4K coming from
Have
Madman this
have
week.
Mad Men
Even
actually done a 4K at all?
Madman strangely were the first indie, right, locally to the market with 4K. I think it was essentially a repack of an international 4K, but they did trial it with the Fifth Element. And I don't think it did particularly well because I recall seeing that one go into those JB promos a million times. They must have worked through the stock at some point in time, but I can't recall if there was ever another 4K from them. Maybe an anime movie of some nature. I think they might have done one of those, and understandably, that's probably done the numbers. But they are doing a 4K soon. It's not out this week, it's out next week. So I'll touch on it a little bit more next week. But they are doing Godzilla minus zero. So they're
Oh,
actually going to do that on 4K and pretty affordably priced too, the editions that they're putting out of that. They're doing a standard, which is quite a nice standard in a steelbook for like $55, and that's a 4K and two Blu-rays. And they're doing a deluxe set for like 110, which I think same amount of discs, but a bunch of other tat. So yeah, so they are seemingly doing it, but I think I recall seeing on the discs themselves having the UK classification, so they must be doing it in partnership with UK
yeah.
mod. But anyway, yeah, this week's releases, just Blu-ray and DVD, but two pretty damn good releases. The first up is The Substance,
Mm.
which is probably one of my favorite films of the year. I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's a perfect film, but I think it's damn near close. Have you had an opportunity to catch this one yet?
No, not yet. I'm really my best of the 2024 consists of like Gladiator 2 because I've seen nothing else.
You'd
And
lie.
that
You've seen more contemporary films this year than I have.
Probably, yeah. I just got my memory is really bad. Otherwise, that's why I had to rely on
Yeah.
Gladiator 2 because that was the one that I thought the most
Came as
recently.
first to
It
mind.
was the
Yeah.
first one. It is not going to be in my top 10 list, but I know that most of the really good films that everyone, especially Glenn, has been championing, I have not seen.
Yeah, no, I've got to do the same. I've got a lot of catching up to do. Look, I know it's going to be we're going to do that final episode of the year, and I think Glenn's asking for our top two favorite films and TV shows, and that's pretty easy because at least I don't have to come up with five films. But
Well,
admittedly, I actually have enjoyed a few films this year that have come out this year, which is somewhat freaky. I think the average of enjoying films to not enjoying films this year is actually greater. And surprising because I haven't watched that many films, but I think I use you guys as filters, as barometers
right.
for whether or not I should engage with something. But anyway, yes, The Substance, I thoroughly recommend it. Blu-ray and DVD locally. The Blu-ray's got alternate art from the DVD, and the Blu-ray does have a special feature. It's got a short film reality plus from the director as well. But that's it. I do know that it's getting a 4K release in the States, but I don't think that's till January, February next year. And I don't believe it's getting a 4K in the UK, but I might hold out just for the 4K because this film will benefit from 4K because it is visually stunning. I think you're really going to enjoy this one, Ben. Try and watch this one before the end of the year.
Yeah, to put it in
'Cause
my list.
it's out this week on physical, but you can get it on digital as well. Rent it on digital and watch it.
I know there's a lot of aerobics action that happens in it, and that's right up my alley. So I should.
Absolutely. Danny, when we left the cinema, Danny had even said, she goes, has Ben seen this? Ben's really going to enjoy this. And I said, I know, it's a total, Ben's going to love it.
I think she didn't she
Moving on.
also say that about was it Hellhole or which I still haven't got around to watching, but I'm sure
Yeah.
similarly love Hellhole. Was it
Yeah.
I think it was one of those ones where I can't remember if it's the school. What's the one with Linda Blair and she's like on the video
That's
call.
Hell Night.
Hell Night. Was it Hell Night that
Hell
she said
Night.
I would really enjoy?
Oh, Hell Night's
Hell
a
Night or
classic.
Hellhole? But
Yeah.
both of them. Both of them
Hellhole's a good
great.
film too, as well. I do like. I think is Hellhole the one that's got Marlene Lynn Fields in it as well? I think it
Well,
might
it's
be.
got Marjoe Gortner, so probably.
Yes, it does. Yeah, it
Yeah,
does. Definitely, definitely. There you
yeah.
go. The other release that's coming out from Madman, new release coming out on Blu-ray and DVD, is a film that I am shocked to say that I actually really enjoyed, and this one probably in my top five films of the year. I will state that it is sort of very fictionalized account of a public figure. So this one's The Apprentice with Donald
Oh,
Trump, and yeah, so the liberties are taken here and there with things. And so, yeah, I went in kind of just going in to enjoy a movie. Uh, and look, it's just so brilliantly shot. And I've never been a big fan of that Sebastian Stan as an actor. I think he's fine, don't get me wrong, but I've never seen him in anything that's made me actually go, yeah, I really like this guy. In fact, most of the time I look at him and I go, oh, this guy's kind of smug. I don't trust him. Admittedly, he's played plenty of
I was
characters you
gonna
shouldn't
say,
trust, like in
like
Fresh.
in Fresh. I was gonna say that's perfect,
Yeah.
perfect casting.
Absolutely. But him as Trump in this, God, just the mannerisms, the delivery, everything about it. It's a really compelling film, even if it is a work of fiction, and it's about like his relationship with Roy Cohen, who's the lawyer that pretty much made him. But it is, yeah, it's a fascinating watch, and the way that that moves through the eras is terrific. How they've done it on a visual level and it's just, yeah, so, as aside from the performance, it's just so engaging, visually engaging, great production design. Yet you can tell like it was made on a modest budget, but it's just smart how they shot it. But yeah, I didn't anticipate to enjoy
Does
it
it
quite as much as I did. I really liked it.
does it work in his cameo in Home Alone 2?
No, it doesn't get it. I don't think it gets as far as, say, 1992. It pretty much is like his rise through the 70s, 80s. And maybe on the cusp. Oh no, maybe it must go into the 90s a bit. But no, no, sadly, it doesn't work that in. It would have been terrific. But no, definitely worth a watch. And yeah, look, I don't know what the Madman release has got in terms of special features on their business to business website. They've actually listed nothing at this point in time, but it's a film that I would definitely come back and watch for sure. And like I said, it's a work of fiction, so enjoy it as such. You don't have to hate Trump to like it, or you don't have to love Trump to like it or watch it. Just watch it. It's a work of art.
Yeah.
Then moving on. Oh, actually, no, one more from Mad Men. I did mention this a couple of weeks back when it was announced for release, but anyway, it is out this week. It's Scarfy's 25th anniversary special edition, finally in HD, just in time for the 25th anniversary because we're pretty much in the last month of the year. Well, we are. I don't know what the special features are. Mad Men hadn't been coming forthcoming about it, but this one has been available before, the El Cheapo DVD. And that was
I
pretty
remember
loaded with
mentioning.
special features. Yeah, so I imagine they've just been ported over, but hopefully there's some sort of I don't know, anniversary commentary or some retrospective interviews. But that one is out, and I'm excited to check that one out. That was a real shock. I'm just surprised that one actually happened, and Mad Men of all people. So, look, I'm going to give them the presidential pardon for some of their recent errors in their ways because they're doing right by getting Scarfies on
Again,
Blu-ray.
Scarface
So.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll forgive anything that they've done in this year. Presidential pardon. But 2025 is a new year, Madman,
Yeah.
so
Watch
watch
out.
out.
Yeah.
Then moving on to Roadshow. The first one's from Rialto, the release through Roadshow, and that's that Hellboy, the Crooked Man. We played it at Monster Fest, so it's coming out on home entertainment. Strangely, it's only coming out on DVD, not even a Blu-ray, which is odd because this is going to be the newest Hellboy film and the only one of the Hellboy movies that is not even available on Blu-ray, let alone 4K. All the
Yeah.
others are available on 4K, even that last horrible one with David Harbour. That's available locally on 4K, but the new one can't even get it in HD. But if you do want 4K, Signature are releasing it in the UK on 4K, so you can get it there. Yeah, odd decision. You think a Blu-ray at least, but no, just
Just
DVD. So
just for
yeah,
Hellboy completists, I would have thought.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Because I dare say there's a lot of people that didn't get an opportunity to go and see it in the cinema, except for that guy that checked it out at the movies the other week. The single admission at some theater it was like $8 or something,
$8.
and you're like,
Eight,
"Hey, how is this movie still in cinemas? And why is it on one
one
person's paying
admission.
to see it?"
Yeah.
Yeah, one admission. Oh, actually, no, I'll save that for the end. But I went and saw a movie on the weekend, like a regular Joe went and saw a movie on a Sunday. and went with my wife and two friends. And it turned out we were the only four people in the cinema to see this movie. Obviously, it wasn't Wicked or Gladiator 2, but I'll touch on it at the end
Now,
because the cinema would have been
when
probably
this
full.
when this happens, as a rule, I will then go around and put up all of the armrests throughout the whole cinema.
Yeah.
Is this a tradition that you partake in?
I hadn't even thought of that. That's terrific.
Just
I love that idea.
I make it one
I
big
actually,
love seat.
yeah, that's it. This is our cinema now.
This is orgy
Um,
time.
I was running. Well, I was running on time, but the wife Danny wanted a coffee, so I had to go and do the coffee errand and come back. So I came back during the ads, the trailers, and it was pitch black, and I had to kind of find where they were, and that was allocated seating, but working out in the dark where they were, and I was trying to be really quiet and not use my phone, so I'm just sort of stumbling in the dark. And then I get to the right row and I can kind of see the figures and I move toward them. And then they pretty much yell out, "It's all right. There's nobody else in the cinema." Like, you fucking kidding me? I stubbed my toe and I think I might have cut my testicle on that thing. Anyway, but I will come back to that film at the end. I'll keep moving like a freight train. The slowest freight train known to man. Like that freight train in The Gauntlet. Didn't that have that actress? She was in Hellhole.
Ah, Marnine Lynn Fields.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
yes,
believe
yes.
she jumps off that freight train.
She does. It can take a fall, God bless her. Moving on, Roadshow. Oh, one other release from Roadshow. This one's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. I don't know if you saw this one or not. I don't know if Roadshow did preview screenings for this one. Never Let Go. It's the new horror film from Alexandre Auger, the director who did like High Tension and The Hills Have Eyes remake, and of course, Piranha 3D.
I don't. The title is just so
Oh,
generic.
it's super generic. It reminds me of that
Uh,
other movie, Never Let Me Go, with the chap from the Spider-Mans, the middle Spider-Mans, the Amazing Spider-Mans.
Garfield.
Um, yes, Andrew Garfield, the good actor. Yes, and Never
Oh,
Let Me Go was a fantastic film,
is it?
incredible. I think I might have even made you buy it at one
I,
point. We're in JB, and it might have been $6 or $8, and I'm like, "You gotta get it. It's too cheap not to buy."
that one and the jacket, I think, was the other one that you and you're like, just don't read the back.
Yeah, no,
Don't go
no.
into it. Don't know anything about it.
Go in blind.
Just
Go
blind.
in
It
blind.
ruins it. Which is
Be
how I feel about
surprised.
Flashpoint. You can't read the back of the
No,
slick.
I remember you
You
saying that. So when I did
can't
finally watch it, no, don't
just
read the
go into it
VHS slip.
completely
Don't do
blind.
it.
Yeah.
Don't even look at the cover for too long.
No. Just go in raw, as they
See,
say.
that's the way to go.
Is this Never Let Go the one with Halle Berry?
That's the one. Yes.
No, I didn't. I have
Yes.
not seen it. No.
It's like a quiet place kind of esque, a little bit seemingly apocalyptic or post-apocalyptic. It's good. It just feels like it could be better, and it also feels like it's not so much the production budget or anything technical about it. It's more just I think we've grown so accustomed to seeing these kind of stories on TV that it feels like this is kind of like a TV show, like From or something of that nature, or that one that I haven't started that I've been meaning to that James Wan produced that you've spoken of, Pocket Bread or something. And it's not called Pocket Bread. Peckerhead. It starts with a P.
Pocket Bread.
Um,
It's going to be Pocket Bread
Pocket
from
Bread.
now on.
Pocket Bread is the new name. He's got a gas mask.
I'll put it into IMDb, aka Pocket Bread. Yeah.
Pocket Bread. What's that show where he's got the gas mask and you've been watching it? It's like
Oh,
a Peacock series in the States binge here, I think.
yeah, not Teacup.
Oh no, that's it.
Teacup?
Teacup. I
Teacup.
think Teacup. Yeah,
Mm,
Teacup. Pocket Bread,
yeah,
aka Skinfold. Yeah,
yeah.
I have not watched this one. I'm keen to see it, but that's what this reminds me of, like a From or that sort of. It feels like it could be a TV show. Look, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine to watch on streaming. Just don't,
Perfect.
don't rush out to buy it. Don't rush out to see it in the cinema like this idiot did. Got to be more selective with the movies that I go to see theatrically. Which brings me to my next point. Something that I did go see theatrically, that one I went and saw, and it turned out we were the only four people in the cinema on its opening weekend. Admittedly, it was Sunday at 10:30 a.m. at Sunshine, so it probably wasn't the key,
It's
market for this particular film.
the dead man
Heretic.
time. Heretic. Yes, I have
Okay.
seen. Yes, that was great. I
And you
loved it.
see, I really love this movie. I felt like I was going to love it based on the trailer, but look, I've been disappointed by trailers countless times. I've made trailers for disappointing films. Um, but so like the trailer, I just felt like it couldn't live up to the trailer. I really enjoyed it from start to finish. Thought it was very clever. I loved Hugh Grant in it. It's of course his villain era Hugh Grant. But yeah, there's no one else in the cinema, and it was heartbreaking because I'm like, this film does not stand a chance. I mean,
Yeah,
seems like a bad time to have released a film like, a week or two out from Gladiator 2 and Wicked. And, people, the mainstream are kind of like maybe not wanting to go see horror movies this time of year because it's just a month out from Halloween. It's a little too soon. So it just feels like it could have been maybe an earlier in the year film release, when those Oscar movies and those big movies aren't coming out, like shuffle it out in
yeah,
late January or February. But yeah, sadly, not an audience to see it. But the good news is Roadshow are putting it out on Blu-ray and DVD. It's coming out February 12th. So it is coming out just in time for Valentine's Day, which will be a
perfect.
sweet way to spend it. I just wish it was coming out in 4K. Like, yeah, it was a banger. Like, I want to hear Hugh Grant sing Radiohead's Creep in Dolby Atmos, please. Like, I'm a weirdo. It's so I really enjoyed it. It was very clever. And the weirdest thing was when I went and looked at, I was like, oh, who's behind this film? I kind of remember reading when I first saw the trailer. But yeah, it was the writer-director duo that wrote A Quiet Place, the
Yeah,
original. And I was like, okay, I can kind of see that. But then they went and wrote and directed that Adam Driver dinosaur movie 65.
65. Yeah, which is
Yeah, and
an
now they've done
interesting.
Heretic.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
always
very
yeah,
strange.
it always takes me back to that uh uh oh, now his name's gone right out of my head. Um the guy who directed Kenny.
Oh yes,
He's been on the show.
Clayton Jacobson.
Clayton Jacobson, when I heard him on Triple R, and he was saying with Paul Harris on Film Buffs, and he was saying at any given time you have to have 10 projects on the go. He goes, take the
Yeah.
one that you're most passionate about, throw it out. You'll never get to make that one. Take
Yeah,
the one that
yeah,
you're second
totally.
most passionate about, throw it out. You'll never get to make the one. Take the one that you're least interested in making. That's the one that will
Yeah.
get up first.
Ah,
And he goes, and
It's
that's what I
it's
reckon. 65.
yeah,
I just,
totally. Totally, I agree.
like, we just like, we thought it'd be a bit of fun, like alien, spaceman versus dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Never thinking
And
it would get made.
Sony looks at the schedule and goes, "Oh, there's not a Jurassic Park movie coming out, or Jurassic World movie. This is gonna fit that void."
Fill that gap.
Yeah.
You know who the
And we'll
right
put
man
Adam
is for
Driver
leading.
in it.
Yeah, Adam
He's
Driver.
been in space plenty of times. People love him in the Star
Yeah, and
Wars.
he can cry
They
on
really
command.
liked it.
Perfect casting.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, go figure. But anyway, Heretic Blu-ray DVD. I'm glad it's getting a Blu-ray at least,
Yeah.
but I will keep my eyes peeled for international announcements because look, if it's going to get a 4K, it's just visually a stunning film as well. It has
Yeah.
a muted palette, but it's just a beautiful looking film. Yeah, I can't rave more than I already have about it. Hopefully, it's got some special features.
Mm.
Details on that to come. But February 26th. So later in the month, there's two releases. Oh no, sorry. Look, I have to apologize. I just realized Heretic's actually coming out February 26th. You will not be able to enjoy it for Valentine's Day. So just hold that thought. But February 26th is when Heretic's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD. The other release that's coming out February 26th is Amadeus, the classic Milos Forman film from 1984, coming out in a 40th anniversary edition, 4K UHD, which now that Warner's doing Atmos for all of these back catalog titles, I think that film will really benefit from a beautiful Atmos track. But I'm excited. I know there's one person that's more excited than me. It'll be Mondo Hardcore. It's his all-time
I was going
favorite
to say it
film, I
was Zach
believe.
Hepburn, who I believe named his son after his.
Ah,
I think his son's middle name is Amadeus.
oh,
After
clever.
I think after
Okay,
that film,
yeah.
and I think like Salieri, who doesn't come off well in Amadeus, still owes
Mm,
Amadeus a debt of gratitude because no one would know who Salieri was if it wasn't for
true.
his rivalry with Amadeus in
Exactly,
that film.
exactly.
Uh,
It's like the King of Kong, with Billy, Billy, whatever his name is, that asshole. Even
yeah,
though he's not the King of Kong, um, he's famous or infamous, but he made the other
yeah,
bloke whose name I can't remember somewhat famous. But yeah,
yeah.
it's a very similar rivalry. I'm sure like Billy, whatever his name, is going to go down as one of the greats of the 20th, 21st century.
Yeah.
So, put him down there in the history books. No, the release I did want to mention that is coming out in time for Valentine's Day. It's coming out February 12th. This is a shock, Ben. This movie's skipping theaters in Australia, right?
Is it
And
another
it
Purge
feels
movie?
no,
No.
yeah, yeah, go
Purge Valentine's
exactly.
Day? That would be,
Yeah, precisely. Ah, God damn it. And then, they skipped, I think, releasing season two on DVD locally as well. They did the first and didn't do the second because it was like, screw you guys, you're lucky you got it on TV.
yeah.
But no, this movie, right? This is just I'm completely baffled. I don't know what's gone on. But this film went from having a bit of traction and, momentum in the US for its forthcoming release to suddenly, and it played the AFI Fest, I think it was one of that might have been its premiere. Then Warner just dumped it in cinemas in the States, gave it no advertising, nothing. This is a new Clint Eastwood film, Juror 2.
Yeah, right.
And they just dumped it out. Like it kind of was like, it's coming, here's the date, and then little to nothing, dumped it out. Didn't do any press for it or anything like that. They've really weaned it all down. And now it's skipping theaters here. It's going to digital in the States on December 20,
And
which
I
is just,
heard, I heard that even though it had a pretty low cinema like numbers, like 1,000 cinemas in the US, which for Australia would be massive, would be a massive release.
yes.
In the
Yeah.
US is a minor release, and it
Oh,
still
yeah.
did amazing box office. Like they were surprised, and everyone was like, "Well, if it's done this," because I think it was coming out the same time as Joker, Part de Deux,
Ah,
or
yeah,
whatever it is, and
right.
they'd spent all that
Yep.
money, and it got beaten by that Clint Eastwood film at the box office. And they were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
well, maybe we should extend the run. And they were like, Warner were like, no, this is our plan. This is what we're doing. And I guess they don't have to worry about offending Clint Eastwood too much because let's be honest, how many more films does this guy have in him? As like he's
I
not
know.
93 or something now, or
Yeah, like 93. But I mean, it's crazy too, though, to think that he's had such a massive hand in not only the financial success of Warner Brothers over the last 40 odd years, but also, their critical and award success. Like, films that he's made have won Academy Awards for Best Picture.
yeah,
It's just baffling. But yeah, he's done something like it's a prolific number of films he's directed for Warner. It's like over 40 movies. But yeah, so this one. They're just going to dump it on DVD locally, not even a
not even a
Blu-ray,
Blu-ray.
just DVD at this stage, February 12th, and that's it. And it's, yeah, crying shame because even the last couple Clint Eastwood films have come out in 4K in the States. So I don't know, maybe they'll do 4K for it in the States. I mean, hopefully they'll do Blu-ray. But yeah, the fact it's skipping theaters is just, it's baffling. It's got such a big cast, and yeah,
Yeah.
just for it just to get pushed out, and that's sort of it. Yeah. So yeah, disappointing, but at least you'll be able to enjoy it in SD on Valentine's Day if you choose to. I mean, you're better off just renting it in
Renting
HD,
it,
aren't
yeah,
you?
watching it on
Yeah.
Netflix or whatever streaming
It'll
service
be cheaper to rent it in HD than to buy it
to
on
buy it on
DVD
SD. Yeah.
and watch an SD. So anyway, that's the news portion which I wanted to share with you. But Benjamin, that's it for me this week. It's been a pleasure doing this one-on-one. I'm sure Glenn will be very impressed. I think we've taken up half an hour of the program, which with one of the quietest release weeks of the year,
Of the
but
year. But we still did it.
we did it. We did it.
We managed to tangent the hell out of it.
We did, we did. This is almost like a spin-off podcast. There you go. All right, sir. Until next time,
Stay
stay
physical.
physical.